aspects of how the country is moving. It's 2026, 2 months down the road. We're already on the 17th day of February, so you can see how fast this particular month is running. Now, speaking of the year 2026, the three arms of government, the executive, legislature, and the judiciary, have been at the forefront, really, this particular year. The year started on a political note. Ugandans had the opportunity, and of course, were given the opportunity to go out and cast their ballot on the 15th of January. That was during the general elections that decided the new president or the president-elect for the next 5 years, and then also decided the new leaders, not only at parliamentary level, then afterwards at local government level. Those elections were held, and well, at the center of everything was the Ugandan who was casting the ballot. Now, in regards to that, currently, the judiciary, which is one of the three arms of government, is actively managing post-election disputes, with the Supreme Court hearing challenges against the January 15th, 2026 general elections. The heat has already been felt, I'm telling you, in some of the areas, and some of those areas include Masaka City, and the presidential petition pulled out by the person who brought it in court. Now, to speak to the judiciary handling the post-election dispute and how it is handling this post-election dispute, we have James Seremi, who is the spokesperson of the judiciary. James, good morning.
Yes,
good to have you.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well.
Thank you.
How is the situation like?
Well,
The
year is fantastic. We are moving on well. We are in charge. We are doing all of what we can do to ensure that we serve Ugandans. Okay. I bring greetings from the judiciary and greetings from the new Chief Justice.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Indeed, and quite a number of changes on the judiciary, starting on a very high note, I should say. New Chief Justice, the launch of a new lawyer. There's quite a number of things to talk about, really, about the judiciary. But let's look at the politics here, which is a vital aspect in any country's democratic governance. But the fear that is showing is that politicking does seem like it's going to be infiltrating the aspect of the country this year, meaning the judiciary won't be spared. James, how much is politicking in the judiciary? And does the politics and the judiciary complement each other, or things just go different ways?
In the judiciary, for us, you know, we are political. We don't do politics in the judiciary. Our mandate is the dispute resolution, where there is a dispute between one party and another. It can be the state, it can be an individual. So our role basically is administration of justice. So we don't politic, and there is no politics in the judiciary. We are servants of the people, entrusted with ensuring that we serve the people in the area of adjudication. Article 126 gives us that mandate, and we are doing that. What you are talking about politics is the politics in the season of the country now. You know very well that the country has just come from election cycle, and more are coming in by way of by-elections, etc., etc. But by and large, that is for politicians. And as an institution, for us, we await to see what comes before us, and when it comes before us, we exercise the mandate which we have been given. Okay. On behalf of the people. You understand that? So there is no politics. I want that one to be clear. We have no politics in the judiciary.
Okay, and speaking of no politics in the judiciary, let me give you a case scenario here. The judiciary is in the spotlight for the post-election span of cases. There are quite a number, a few identicals. But let's start with the incident in Masaka. It has been a case study so far, with many saying the controversies, already showing signs. The judiciary, is the judiciary really managing? There are all those questions of, is the judiciary really managing the post-election disputes effectively? Key word there, effectively, following the best chambers of the law, because the law is really a double-edged sword, they say. So at times it favors somebody, at times it doesn't. So those that are not favored by it would say it has been unfair or it wasn't right. Let's look at the handling of some of those particular post-election cases.
Yeah, you have said that the judiciary is in the spotlight. I don't know what you want to mean by being in the spotlight. The judiciary has been there from time immemorial, and it continues to be there, and it has continued to handle many cases. Okay? Some cases have such emotions and tempers, but judicial officers are skilled and trained professionals who know how to handle every situation. You have asked me to talk about the massacre incident, and you want to look at how effective the judiciary is. We are very effective in the management of election matters. Okay. That is why I will tell you that knowing that we are going towards an election cycle, the first thing we did as a judiciary was to ensure that we train our judicial officers. We have a phenomenon called retooling. Over 5 years, what transpired 5 years ago might have a bit of changes, circumstances, etc. We had training of judicial officers, chief magistrates, judges, registrars, research officers assisting the judges in the execution of their work. We had training. That's part of the preparation. And that explains why, as soon as elections were over, everyone who ran to court, our judicial officers were available to handle what was available for them to handle. The question whether someone was dissatisfied with the decision, okay, is equally what we should tell Ugandans. That dissatisfaction with the decision I have made does not mean that I am ineffective, because you can see how judicial officers tirelessly handle the election recount, some of them going over days and some of them sleeping over to ensure that they deliver decisions. Now, why do you think the judiciary is on a spotlight? Because people got dissatisfied with decisions. We want to tell you that judicial officers, when they read the law, they interpret them as judicial officers and independently. Now, how they interpret a provision of the law or the facts is within their professionalism. Okay? And at the end of the day, the result, which is now the decision, the ruling or the judgment, embodies his reasoning, why he reached a certain decision. And what do we call for? We call for citizens, litigants. When a judicial officer gives you a timely decision and you are dissatisfied with it, the available recourse is just proceed to the next level. Appeal the decision. The next court is also available, okay, to listen to you. And when the next court is also available to you and has listened to and takes a decision and you still feel you are dissatisfied, the due process is available. So that is how effective the judiciary is, and we want everyone who respects the rule of law to follow that due process. Other than coming up, shouting here and there, making all of this. Of course, we appreciate positive criticism, because for instance, myself, when I read the newspapers, when I get social media reports, when I go through all these things, and I'm reading what people are speaking about, what they're talking about here and there, I take notes. And that forms the basis for training, okay, of our judicial officers to make them much better tomorrow or the other day, okay? But that does not stop you who thinks that you were mistreated, or is it to say you lost a matter, okay, and you think you lost because the judicial officer was wrong. Let us follow available remedial actions that are within the law so that we move to the next stage. It is as simple as that.
And allow me remain a bit political here, though. The leading opposition party alleges mishaps in the presidential elections, but stands not to go to courts of law to argue this out, and they're pointing out that judiciary independence, they fear that the judiciary is not as independent as it should be. And is the judiciary not independent enough? And how does, judicial independence perception affect the progress of the rule of law in the country, James?
First of all, I don't know why somebody does not want to come to court. Probably he has no cause of action. When your rights are being violated, and you know who has violated them, okay? You have a cause of action. And that is what enables you to come to court. Now, if you decide to sit on your rights, it cannot be blamed on the court, because the court does not come shopping around for issues, okay? By and large, the judiciary under Article 128 is guaranteed independence. We are discussing people's opinions, and everybody has their opinion depending on their interest, okay? Now, for me, I want to assure Ugandans that the judiciary that is available to serve you is closed with the judicial independency, okay? To entertain all matters, be it of an election matter, or is it be civil, whatever it can be, criminal, okay? The judiciary will take decisions, all right? And anyone who is dissatisfied, as I mentioned earlier, can move to the next level, okay? Now, if we follow these available legal processes, the due process, then why should you, instead of following the due process and the law, which gives you extra remedies to guarantee your satisfaction, why do you now run around and say there is no independence? If I am the judge in a case, and I have listened to your case, and I have decided it, and you think I decided it because I am not independent, isn't it? Okay? And you are dissatisfied. Go to the High Court, isn't it? The High Court will listen to your arguments and will agree with you, isn't it? Why do you fear to appeal against my decision? That because I was not independent? So what are people doing? People are refusing to follow the available avenues in addressing their concerns and grievances about decisions that have been taken in the courts, hiding behind the lack of independence. Surely, okay, let us assume I have not been independent, okay, and I want to put it in quotes, because I know there's no judicial official who decides cases without that independence. It's guaranteed. If you went to the next level, for instance, on appeal, surely don't you think the appellate court might listen to you and agree with you? Now, what will you say? And we have seen these situations many times. We have even seen instances, and I will want to go to this one too. Recusal, matters of recusal. Did you know that many people bring recusals because they think he's biased, he's not independent, he's not whatever?
So it's just testing the waters?
Because of a mindset. People are suffering from a disease of the mind.
But how are you working?
Instead, listen, instead of you focusing on the trial expeditiously and having a decision such that if you are dissatisfied, you move to the next level and the next level. Did you know that in the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, these are collegial courts, that all of the 3, 4, 5 will equally be compromised like you claimed I was? They definitely wouldn't. Now, recusals have come in and then they end up boggling the legal process, okay? They cause us backlog because instead of proceeding with listening to matters and the decisions are taken and you appeal the next level, you are busy arguing recusal matters. Okay. You know? So independence, I want to emphasize, the independence of the judiciary is guaranteed. We are independent in the execution of our judicial work. What you are discussing and what people raise, and particularly depending on their interests, is simply, for the lack of a better word, they may not have actually a good cause of action. Present your matter, read your evidence, the facts will speak for you. If I have failed to interpret the facts and the law well, go to the next level. The next level will give you your what? Your good decision.
James,
and that is how effective we are moving in that direction.
James, I would love to hear from you, from the judiciary's perspective, or point of view. Where do you think these claims stem from? Do you think it's just politicking?
I agree.
Or is it,
you see,
is it false on your side?
Let me tell you. When advocates choose to do politics instead of advocacy, that's where we have a problem. We have more advocates who are politicking than legal practicing. You see? They are coming to the courts to play to the gallery. Courts of law are serious places. You are bringing real issues for determination. We are talking about people's rights here and interests. Okay? And instead of coming to focus on the issue, you know the law. You know, we are telling our brothers on the bar, you know the law. Okay? Why should you digress away from the law and the legal procedures and then choose to go into politicking? You are simply adding to the delay. Okay? Meanwhile, for us, we are trying to reduce lead times, but now application after application after application after application, we are failing to go to the substantive simply because we must first of all handle these unnecessary applications. Why don't we focus at the main course?
Well, James, yes. I love how you point that out. I would also love to ask, though, you know, when some of these issues are raised, claims, allegations, you know, pointers are hit at the judiciary, how then does the judiciary weigh itself and look towards improving if there is
Yes,
need?
I told you, okay, that we take criticism very positively. Okay? And much as I'm giving guidance on what we would want to see as a judiciary, okay, when there are issues raised, okay, we take stock. And when we take stock, we go back to the drawing board. Because we have a duty also to identify training needs of our judicial officers, such that we make them better judicial officers tomorrow, okay, and then we serve Ugandans better. So, as a judiciary, as an institution, like any other institution, we are prone to criticism because people, where you are deciding on people's rights, you are right, you are wrong. The wrong one wants you to say he's right. The right one wants you to say you are right, and yes, rightly you must say the right one is right. Okay. But there are those who want to think that, you know, because I have disagreed with the wrong one, then I am. Yes, so be it. You are dissatisfied, and that's my point this morning. If you are dissatisfied with the decision made by a judicial officer in court, please, members of the bar, you know what to do. Stop hoodwinking the public, stop playing to the gallery. We want you as officers of court to do the right thing. Stop the drama. This drama in court is uncalled for.
Okay. James, government is in the process of the budget framework paper for the financial year 2026-27. In the financial year 2025-26, the judiciary presented a budget of 614.99 billion. I stand to be corrected if at all the figure varies. How much is needed in this financial year for the judiciary to run smoothly, and what are the strategic financial priorities for the judiciary?
I will tell you that as a judiciary under the judiciary reform agenda, the judiciary presented a budget to Parliament. Like you have rightly said, we believe that if we have a budget of 614 billion, we are able to execute our mandate. Okay? And I will also tell you that His Excellency, the President, was so good enough to understand the dynamics of the administration of justice. And when the judiciary presented its case for consideration, His Excellency promised that he would love to see the judiciary receive up to 800 billion. Okay? Because then we are able to perform well. Resources affect greatly our performance, including priority areas. And when we are given money, sometimes this money suffers what we call budget cuts. And when we receive a budget cut, it means therefore that there are certain areas that will be affected.
Well, James, on that particular point of budget cuts, we're going to be returning and having conversations on that, including some bits of the case backlogs that you did mention earlier on. You're still watching Morning at NTV. Stick around with us. We return with more conversations on the judiciary and its performance so far. Good morning, you're still with us. This is our Morning Czar here at NTV. The hashtag is Morning at NTV. To be part of our conversation this morning, share with us what you think of what James is sharing with us in regards to the judiciary, the performance of the judiciary, the improvements where we've seen, and of course also looking at some of the the issues that are in the spotlight. Because when you're in the spotlight, you can be in the spotlight for quite a number of reasons, either for the good ones or for the bad ones. And how you navigate through those particular issues is what sells, what sells you as an individual, or what sells you as an organization, or what kills you or puts you down. Now, James, we were still talking about the budget cuts and the like, and you said they do affect you. And as much as we look at the budget cuts, there's something about the judiciary being blamed for the case backlogs and the judiciary holidays, where judges or magistrates are out of office. So we also need to know what is being done to solve these puzzles. But let's first get back to the budget cuts briefly, and then we get into this issue of the case backlogs.
Yes. Of course, I was talking about how budget cuts affect performance of the judiciary. We have priority areas for implementation every financial year. Because we believe as an institution that those priority areas will enhance access to justice for the people of Uganda. Okay? The new Chief Justice, and I want to call him new because he's barely 2 months in the office, Dr. Flavian Nzeija, when he took over office, he made very wonderful commitments to the public. In addition to pushing forward the judiciary transformation agenda that Honorable Chief Justice Emeritus Owinyidolo was advancing, he said he's going to further strengthen those priority areas. Now, for him to be able to achieve strengthening these priority areas, funding is very critical. Maybe I could also take you through a few of the priority areas. One, okay, we as an institution, okay, are looking forward to ensuring that we operationalize courts. We have already an instrument gazetting regional court of appeal circuits. In Igulu, construction has already started. In Mbarara, construction is already ongoing. But we have Mbale, we have Mwende, we have other places, okay? Jinja, you know. Now, to have that achieved, we need the funding, because what are we doing? We are extending services nearer to the people at the court of appeal level. You understand that? So resources are very important, but we often get budget cuts and sometimes a complete lack of funding in that area of capital development. And so we are saying, if we can continue having this capital development, we are able to continue doing these constructions and operationalization of these courts. What about our magistrates who are in the countryside? They need infrastructure, buildings where they will serve the people. And that goes back into how they will perform at the end of the day. Number two, I want to talk about improving of case management, okay? Because we know very well that unless we look clearly on how our case management goes, then the complaint about case backlog will continue. So case management, how we are coming up with innovations, interventions, is very critical, okay, as an institution, because we want to deliver justice, timely justice, and reduce costs, the cost of litigation. We want to do that, okay? So it's a priority area, but how do we do it if funding is, you know, we have sessions, but oftentimes because of the limited funding and budget cuts, sessions are limited. We can't have the planned sessions across the courts so that people can receive the necessary service. We want to improve and enhance the use of ICT.
Okay.
You know how ICT improves performance? We have ECMIS, you have PAPS.
And it's the digital age.
Yeah, it's the digital age. We want also to go into AI, to explore AI. Yes, we are moving into the industrial revolution. Okay. You see, the fifth is AI. We cannot, you know, wait until when. It's now, but we need funds to understand, to operationalize, to skill our judicial officers on AI. You know, we cannot allow to be left. And it is already a program on government.
James, let's look at the integration briefly of technology in the judicial systems.
Yes,
how have you found it, and how is it?
Of course, like I told you, okay, we have a very robust program of ensuring that we go ICT. IT solutions are the way to go today. But we are constrained by other players. We depend on NITAU, for instance. Now, if NITAU has or allocates us a limited bandwidth, it will affect internet on our systems. It will be slow. Those who do not understand those dynamics will begin blaming the judiciary. We have ECMIS now, which we have rolled out to now a number of courts, and our dream is to ensure that with funds available, we roll to every court, every corner. But doing so, we also need NITAU to have internet connectivity. Okay, in all of these places where they are, we have moved there, but there are places they haven't reached. And if they haven't reached there, that means we shall have to wait, okay? But then what about the equipment that go along with it? All that is still money, you understand? Okay, so when we're asking for increase of our budget, we are talking on tangible matters, tangible issues. We want also to ensure that we mainstream ADR and the African justice mechanisms in dispute resolution. Okay. You talked about issues of case backlog. Okay, and it is our focus that when we mainstream ADR and African justice mechanisms in dispute resolution, we are good to go. Okay, and then we have another problem, educating the public. Okay, and then we have people who are again also obstacles to some of these innovations, etc. But we have come up with very robust and user-friendly interventions.
Okay.
Mediation, plea bargaining, small claims, reconciliation, all of those are interventions in case management. I want to take you further first. We are doing legal reforms. Yes. So many years ago, a magistrate one could handle a small matter, but now that small matter has appreciated. Now everything is running into the High Court. So the High Court is overloaded. So we have to do legal reform, increase on revise the jurisdiction of these courts so that we can, because we have had a good number of recruitment at the lower level. Okay, and yet we have only up to 151 at the High Court. They have appeals, they have original jurisdiction, they have all of these things. Now we have this election matters. We want to ensure we increase the jurisdiction of the magistrates so that the High Court can concentrate on only that above the lower courts and concentrate on appeals. It is all about case management and reducing case backlog. But I want to tell you one thing. As you are blaming the judiciary, I want Ugandans to know that our statistics have shown that out of the 47,000 cases constituting case backlog, about 27,000 cases fall under criminal. But out of the criminal matters, the 27 criminal matters, about half are people who absconded from court. They jumped bail. They were granted bail to attend to their matters while they are coming from home. They chose to disappear. Sureties have not helped the state. Sureties are in hiding. These people have gone to Dubai, they have gone to Saudi Arabia, they have gone to Sudan, they are in the neighboring, they are in the islands there, they are hiding. Those cases are on our shelves because they are on warrant of arrest. They cannot move. You understand that? Now, who is responsible for that 27, half of the 27,000 cases on warrant of arrest? It is we Ugandans who went and told the court that we shall perform our role as sureties. And since then, we abandoned that responsibility and we are busy blaming the courts of case backlog. You as a surety, go and bring that person. That will be one case backlog done in the next 3-4 months.
James, let's look at court open days.
Yes,
these have become
of course there are many. There are many priority areas.
But let's look at
time we can't.
Let's look at the court open days.
Yes,
quite interactive engagements organized at at a given court for the public to give feedback and all of this and this kind of interface with the judiciary and other actors in the justice chain. When you look at the importance of such a day and its objective, what has, how has it improved the services of the judiciary, and what have been the outcomes, especially when it comes to feedback over the years?
First of all, I want to inform the public that the court open days, is the forum where we interact with the public. It's a forum for public accountability. It's a forum where we have a conversation, with our dear bosses, the public for whom we serve. We have had the Sofato National Court Open Days in Kololo, and we want to thank the people who have come and they have really participated, in these ones. But we also have a number of court open days across the country in the circuits and magistrates courts. All right, people come and speak. We speak to them. They also speak to us. They tell us where we are going wrong. We take notes and we go back on the drawing board. We improve service delivery. It's a forum where candid discussion on what is happening is received. Okay? And I want to tell the public that when we have these court open days, please come, because you will learn a lot of things. We share a lot of literature. We give out pamphlets, we give out magazines, we give out on the law, on processes, on interventions, and people go back and read and understand the things, including the explanation that we have. It is a time when even they raise their complaints, if any. And we take stock of that. It has been a very wonderful forum, and the Honorable Chief Justice, Dr. Flavian Nzeja, has made it even more pronounced. He has said he's going to ensure every court has a court open day. What does that mean? We want to bridge the gap between the public and the courts. Originally, without the court open days, people used to fear courts. But I want to assure you we have positive feedback. Now when we call people for court open days, they now come. And what has been the result again? The result is that now people have understood where to go, when and how, and who to approach. We demystify so many things.
James, as we're beating up with our conversation, corruption is another stink that ravages all service delivery in Uganda.
Yes.
And the judiciary has been severely put at the forefront in some of these conversations. So let's look at the fight against corruption. Let's look at how the judiciary is handling it internally and externally. And how far have you reached with this fight, really? I
will start with the policy of the judiciary, which is everybody's responsibility. We have a zero tolerance to corruption.
Okay.
Okay? And we have put mechanisms where the public should participate with us, should partner with us, should network with us to ensure that that vice is eradicated completely. We don't even talk about reducing it. We want to kill it and it should go.
Okay.
But we have one problem. The public itself. The public, as we have put in place mechanisms, interventions to fight corruption, including anti-corruption policy within the institution. We have disciplinary mechanisms. We have complaints mechanisms. We have a toll-free line, which the public, if anyone is asking for a bribe, we have brought in ICT solutions like ICMIS, where we reduce the people-to-people interaction, a gray area for asking for a bribe, etc. The public has continued to give bribes. And do you know to who? Our research has also shown that it's not judicial officers, but some masqueraders who pretend to be around the courts, who pretend to know Judge X, Y, and Z. Yesterday I saw some note somewhere, okay? Somebody purporting that he has information about how bribes are eaten somewhere. And we are saying, if you have such very good information, why don't you come up and share it with us in confidence, so that we are able to fight the vice? What are we doing? As we clean our own house, and we have put in very stringent measures. Judicial officers have been put on the spot. They know it. It is haram to be seen to solicit any bribe or even eat any.
Okay.
But we have asked the police, the IGG, we are asking every other person of good will, if you try to come with your bribe to our courts, we are going to arrest you.
All right.
We have been arresting those who ask. And little have we put emphasis on those who give. Now, it is a crime for one who asks and one who gives. Now, we are moving to get the one who has asked, but we are also moving to get you.
Why are you giving?
That way will show how intolerant we are about corruption.
Right.
And that's our resolve.
Well, James, we do wish you all the best in that regard, by the way. Happy New Year. James Seremi,
we want to work with the public.
Judiciary. He has been with us having a look into the amassing improvements in the judiciary conversations around the courts of law, the rule of law, and legal representation in the country, and how the law is being respected and followed in all aspects of it all. For all of you who have been part of us from 6:30 a.m., that does it for Morning at NTV, 17th February 2026. I'm Joram Paul Sonko. Coming up on NTV is Mwasuzem Tia with Stella Nate. Be part of that of the show and also follow the conversations. For more in regards to the updates coming your way on NTV, follow us on the socials, on X, Instagram, Facebook, and our TikTok Reels to get more updates, real-time